Well, good morning, kidlets. I'm glad to see you here. All the friendly faces, although I can't see your faces, but I'm glad that you're here. Welcome, welcome. It is Saturday morning. Ah, dear. We have all kinds of stuff going on this morning. Just quickly say hi to the folks, David Reif and Dawn, and formerly Hip and Singe Man and Sue Finelli and Mojo Shop and Rob Cleveland. And, oh, gosh, we got Andres, who was here early. He left. He came back. Ronald Lee, I hope that you don't have to move. I know that you might, but being there for 20 years, I know you don't really want to. And if you do, I'll have to come there and help if I can. Flattership Bear, hope that you can get us today without getting grappled too much, and I hope that is true for the rest of you. There is, coming up, there is something I want to say here. Maybe I won't say it out loud. Maybe I'll just put it in the chat here. We'll say this. That's what I want to say. So I caught a live stream from Karen B. I also want to say happy birthday to to Cammie. Well, happy birthday, Cammie. Cammie Nodell, 29 today. If you see her floating around the chats someday today, just say hi, give your best. Anyway, where was I at? Yeah. Just love to Cammie. We got love to you guys, and let's see, Ronald Lee and Butt Big Bear, not Big Butt Bear. That's me. But anyway, yeah, we have the coolest, greatest, most awesome community. Oh, I know why Karen's not here, because Karen's doing her own stream right now. That's right. She snuck in and swooped on my Bible stuff, and she's doing a Bible thing now, I think. Well, there's hope for everybody. I'm kidding, Karen. If you listen back to this. Yeah, there's even hope for Ceiling Fan Man. So we have that. Anyway, I'd like to introduce you to one of our friendly family, and of course, I'm sure you know her already. She's no stranger to you guys. Been around quite a while, but she's also she's not in the U.S. She's in the EU, I was going to say, kind of bouncing around. And I got to tell you, she was, I think, worried about her English. And I got to tell you, her English is way better than my German, not to mention my Dutch. Oh, my God. But we're big on taking care of our community. And certainly, I love what I have seen from you guys in terms of just trying to take care of our family and make sure that those people among us are doing well, especially when needed. And so many people right now are just needing a bunch of help. And so I know it gets kind of wearisome, especially when you know the bald guy's going to come and say, shake it down a little bit, pass the hat. But here's the one thing I want to say, right, is that we all talk a little bit about trying to get out of the system, right? About we all get these stars in our eyes about how we want to get out of the matrix and start growing food and do these things. Few more than I, right? The poppy cult is real. I'm closing shop up here in Seattle. We're leaving, and we're going to do the thing. And I have an immense amount of respect and regard for those who have taken those first steps and being kind of the tip of the spear. And certainly, one of the things that happens as you exit the matrix is that you lose access to many of the things people take for granted. Among them, things like health insurance, right? As much as we dislike the allopathic medical system for all the screwery that it does, there are times when it's needful, and that's the system that we have within to work. And boy, can that be not fun. And so when one of us takes the extraordinary step to step away from the system and then finds himself in need, it can be extremely burdensome, and such is the case now. And so one of our own, Miriam Yehoshua, had an incident this last week, and we almost lost our friend, guys. Remarkable story. In fact, I'll just let her tell it because it is fairly remarkable, and we still don't know what's going on exactly. I thought it was, from the initial reports, pretty straightforward, but it turns out to be a bit more complicated. So first, Miriam, thank you so much for taking the time to spend with us. It's great to have you here.
Thank you so much for having me here. I really appreciate being here and you helping me and having this sweet community all together as a family, standing behind each other. And yeah,
absolutely. And for those who don't know, so Miriam, you're in the eastern part of the EU.
Yeah, right now I am in Romania, and I was driving or traveling on my bicycle with my two dogs, and I already found like a kind of a place here with a dog shelter where I was helping, and
And the dogs are saying hi, so we can all wave to the dog. Hi.
the dogs, they are outside. No, I am in the house, but she also has like 12 dogs in the house, and she really wanted to be here and do her story as well, because she called the ambulance to take me to the hospital. But she took my dogs for a swim, because if they don't get out now, they are going to bark all night. She's very busy right now with taking care of me, taking care of my dogs, and she's already a very busy lady. So I want everybody's prayers for Tanya as well.
Okay, that's awesome. And she has taken, from what I understand, such good care of you during this time
She did,
as well.
yeah.
So, and I'm
So
so glad that she called the transport for you. All right. So start at the beginning, and
well,
I'm gonna kind of pass it over to you real quick, and I'm gonna go refill my coffee. So, so
okay,
if you don't
you
hear
do
me
that.
if you don't hear me say something for about 30 seconds, it's just because I grabbed coffee. But I want you to just kind of start and tell folks kind of the story of how this progressed. And again, I'll be right back. And but I want you guys to listen and understand exactly what's going on, because again, if any of us who take the steps and step outside of the matrix, right? Anyway, go ahead. Go
Yeah,
ahead, Miriam. Thank you.
it's okay. Well, it started a long time ago, but many of you already know the story. I will just start where the point where I was feeling like a little bit tired and crappy. That started Friday evening, and it was a long day of work, and I never thought that it would be something else, just tired. So around 10 o'clock, I was walking my dogs, and my youngest, he pulls a little, and I was pretty happy that he was pulling me, because I couldn't barely put one foot in front of the other. I went to bed, and Saturday morning, I woke up. I was still very tired, and my head was like a little bit hurting me, and thought nothing of it. And during the Saturday, it kept getting worse and worse. But there was still a lot of work upstairs to take out the poop from the dogs, because there are about 150 dogs that we take care of.
Wow. And dogs
And
poop. There's everybody poops.
everybody poops with dogs. Yeah, it's terrible. Well, it's very fulfilling work, and I really like it. And so I took a paracetamol to give that last push. I was like, okay, I have to. But the temperature outside was like 34 degrees. Yeah, so it was pretty hot. And so other things happened in the meantime as well. But when the time that I got back, I was like, okay, I'm so tired. I just go to bed. So I went Saturday in the bed. I didn't eat that much Saturday because I was a little bit getting a little bit nauseous. And once in bed, I barely got out. Sunday was getting even worse. So Tanya took me to the hospital here in the town, in the
And how
village.
big is the town?
Sunday evening.
How big is the village that you're in?
I'm not exactly sure. It's bigger than a small village, but it's not a town yet. It's something in between, I guess.
How many
I'm
people?
very difficult in
A f- a f-
estimating the
okay.
amount of people. I
It's
don't
curious,
know.
like 5,000, 10,000. So a really small community hospital, though. Nothing
Yes,
really big. Yeah.
exactly. So we went there, and they took me. They put an IV in because I was dehydrated as well. And after one bag of this stuff, I was getting a little bit more clear. And so it was like 11:30 in the evening, and we went home. I went back to bed. I was like, okay, maybe this was it. So Monday morning, Tanya was going to get the prescription from the pharmacy that they prescribed from the hospital. And when she got back, I had for the second time severe uh, muscle pain, spasms, actually. My whole body was like cramping up. And the second time that she came back, it was like hurting so badly that I was screaming. The neighbors could hear it. And I was burning up. My head was pounding like crazy. I couldn't even walk anymore. And at that moment, I started to get like delirious as well. She called her friend, she called the hospital. They sent an ambulance. We first went to the small hospital here, and she told me there were like, I don't know how many not cars, doctors inside the room. And they apparently did not know what to do with me, so they sent me with another ambulance with the sirens to a big hospital.
Oh, that's got to be
And
scary.
by,
Right in the middle of it. You
yeah,
don't know what's going on, and they're like, "We can't help you, man." Yikes.
yeah, that's really crappy.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I don't remember that much from it, but they told me that I was like delirious and I only asked for like water, which
Sure.
is like in Romania, apa, apa, apa.
Yeah, we were talking.
And
In
I
fact,
do remember she gave me some water, but at one point I had the water in my mouth and it was just like running out. I couldn't swallow anymore.
oh
And
wow,
I think the doctors were like at that point, like my organs were like
shutting
failing me or
down. Yeah.
something like that.
Yep.
So they sent me to the other hospital, and
Wow.
apparently they gave me oxygen there. They called my friend. She was already on her way to the hospital by telling her that she needed to hurry because I was in an even worse condition than I was before. So they were all very scared. And it turned out my temperature at that point was like 107, 108 Fahrenheit.
That's just
And
mind blowing.
I was like burning up so badly. And
Yep.
here
Same.
was,
I'm sorry. I was just quickly, and I should have just typed it in the chat. People are asking, is this the same Miriam from like Voynich's chats and our circles?
yeah, that
Absolutely.
is,
This is
I'm
the
from
very one.
Venice's chair.
Yep. This is the very same.
Yep,
Your friend and mine. Right. So
exactly. That's why I say we have this great community, and I wouldn't ask for help so quickly. And
well.
most people know that because I am trying to be independent and
Yeah. I
doing my things
and I
and
do know, and that's part of why we're here, right? Is because I quickly kind of just ascertained the situation. Actually, so thank you, Kelly Fe, who contacted me first and said, "Hey, here's the situation." I was like, "Oh, holy crap! Yeah, of course we're going to help." But kind of just really quickly alerted me to the situation, and then understanding, as I do, that you're off, kind of out of the matrix and off grid and not really part of the system, and that's makes when you have to interact and interface with the system, things are really tough. It becomes twice as complicated because not only is the situation you have to deal with, but then you got to deal with all the stuff, right,
yeah,
going
exactly.
around.
That
So
comes afterwards, and it gives you another headache. That's how it is.
exactly. No, I totally get
Yeah,
it. And so this is why, again, I wanted to just kind of jump in and say, guys, we want to help. And it's again even more complicated. Like for example, Miriam doesn't have. Like a bank account, right? Because that's what you do. I don't really have one. I mean, I do now, but it's sort of a weird online thing because I just don't like dealing with them. You don't have
yeah.
much control. And so we're going to put in her PayPal information. It's got Miriam's name on it, but it actually links to your sister, right, Daphne?
Sister,
Yeah.
yeah,
So there's not
that's
anything
correct.
sketchy or weird, guys. We're not. It's just these are the steps that we have to take to help her out, and so
Yeah, because there is a lot of things that need to be paid, of course, plus the medication. And I am going to get health insurance because they told me that it might happen again because they don't know what I have.
yeah, that's the
So
thing.
next week I'm going to have testing for Lyme disease, which is like 5 days of blood drawing that has to go to the laboratory and stuff like that. So and from now until 3 months, I cannot use the health insurance period. And with that, I have to apply for health insurance, but then I also have to apply for to stay here longer with the visa. And then I would need a number, and that number they would need for the health insurance. So it's like kind of like, yeah, we don't know how things are going to work out. I do know that Tanya is going to give me a volunteer contract.
Awesome.
And if that is not enough, she is even willing to give me like a permanent contract so that I will have a health insurance from the state as well. And then I can do the other things as extra. So for that, they are really doing their best for me here as well, and they are trying to find a place where I can stay for the winter. So I am stuck here for like a long period of time, and because Tanya is doing so much, and all the people here are helping me like so much that I cannot rely on them forever, and I need to do, yeah, and arrange the things, yeah,
Yeah. I think,
to
I
get
mean, you
back.
know what, I mean, this is one thing. If those of us who are kind of adults, we, we know thank you, Sue. I was just about to drop that in there, the PayPal link. So I dropped in the link for actually the live stream that Miriam did while she was at the hospital. And it's it's an hour and a half or so long, but it gives you a good story. And I mean, at the very beginning, it kind of stressed me out because it's like clearly you're upset, right? And it's because I can tell you feel like you have to ask for something, you don't want to do it, right? And then you kind of calm down and tell the story. And so I get it, right? I understand exactly what
Yeah,
it feels like. Going, I don't want to ask anybody for anything. This sucks, man. That's like I didn't want to have this thing happen, and so I get it.
exactly.
Yeah, I totally get it, and that's why again it just one of the things that I caught, and I kind of wanted to ask ask about. I noticed in the live stream about 45 minutes in, I couldn't help but notice. I don't know if it was Tanya or Kelly or somebody suggested that you reach out to me, and I was curious why. I was like, how did I come to mind? I don't know why, but I'm glad you
Yeah,
did.
well, yeah, because you are, I would say you're a great man, and you
That's
have
only
the
in my name.
tendency to
That's it.
be very helpful, and you know people, and with you the community is even bigger for me, so I can reach more people with your help. And
I love you, kiddo. And again, I wasn't really fishing. I just like it surprised me. I was like, what? Why would you think of me? But I'm glad you did because yeah, for sure I'm going to leap into action. I can't take seeing people in need. It just it bugs me. So I've sent a little something over for you. Hope you
thank you so
get that
much.
safe and secure, and I hope it does a little something to help out. And so if you guys can, I'll pop it in the chat again, and I'll put it in the show notes as well. So if you don't have to go, in fact, I'll just do that
Yeah,
right
and
now.
with that having said, I haven't done live streams in a while because I was working so much, but now I do have a little time, and I was thinking, you guys, you are so sweet, and I kind of like neglected the community a little bit because I was so busy, but I want to pick it up again, and I will do some live streams, and I want to keep all of you informed about what's happening with my health and with the situation here. So if you can subscribe to my channel, you can follow the situation a little bit, and I will keep Baldini informed as well,
And,
so that he will know a little bit about the situation and what's
perfect.
going to happen after,
Thank you so
and the
much.
recovery and everything. So
Okay, so
that's,
I dropped your channel, YouTube channel, in the chat, as well as the PayPal link. Mine isn't a link actually, so you can't click mine on. But I did adjust the show notes. I edited the show notes to put Miriam's channel and the PayPal link inside. So
yeah. And Sue also put it inside again, the PayPal.
yeah, and
I saw you.
let me try again with the PayPal thing. Let me try to get a clickable link in the chat. So hold on, me slash. Let me put this in here. Let's see if I can get to it directly. Yes. Okay. So that then does work, and see. Let's see if it drops in as a link. Yes. Okay. So there's a PayPal link that actually works. All right. There we have
Oh,
it.
great.
Awesome,
Great.
perfect. So, Miriam, thank you so much for coming on and sharing your story. And I know it's uncomfortable to talk about stuff, especially like medical stuff. You know, we're violating HIPAA. Not that that applies to you, right? In Romania, but no, I know it's never comfortable to discuss these things. I've been going through it, for a while myself, and so. But I know that people, want to help, and they. There's a lot of love in this community, and so I do appreciate you being willing to let people love on you, because it's appropriate.
Well, actually, that's the only way to survive, isn't it?
I
With
think so.
love in when you need it and you are like outside, you have to kind of like
Yeah.
step forward and come ask for it.
Yep.
So I guess that's what I did.
That's it. That's it. And it's
Yeah.
the hardest thing sometimes to do. And I know this.
Yeah.
I know this personally, both to ask and just to receive it. But it is a pleasure to give it. And we love you, Miriam. Thanks for being here.
Thank thank you.
I'm so
Thank you,
I'm
Baldini.
so
You're
glad
great.
that you're still with us. I am so glad. But guys, it is not. She's not out of the woods yet. So let's do what we can now, as well as you're able. And if you can't do it financially, give her your prayers. It's effective. It's an effective tool. And I hope I don't get a tag for medical misinformation. But it is an effective tool. And Miriam, we just love you. Thank you so much. And Kelly, thank you too, for reaching out to me. I'm so glad that you did. Thank you so much.
Yes. Yes, Kelly. Thank you.
All right. I'm going to say goodbye now, and then we're just going to I have just a few more things for you guys this morning, and then we'll wrap up, and then I will see you guys later. But Miriam, please do stay in touch with me. You got my, reach out via Skype or whatever, just anytime, and let me know how it's going. Let me know. I'd be also curious to know, just because I'm that kind of guy, make sure that the community has got support for you, and I'll pass it around a few more times, and we'll see how we can do for you.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you so much.
Great. Thanks. Talk to you
All
later.
right.
Bye.
Bye bye. Guys, do what you can there for Miriam. She's awesome. And again, she's one of them that's really doing it, right? She's really doing it. And so this is the kind of person that I want to, step up and support. So added a new sub right there. I just added, just subscribe to Miriam myself. And so, all right. Already she's got 5 new subs just from when we started. So awesome. So, guys, thank you so much. I really appreciate that. If you haven't already, and again, I mentioned Karen B earlier, that she's, I think, still on her stream right now, but she did a stream from traffic. She was stuck in traffic on her way to Cammie's house because, again, happy birthday, Cammie. She made a lovely gift for Cammie. I know this thing, and I'm not speaking out of school because they published it on social media, so I think I'm okay to talk about it. But the other thing was that Karen mentioned, as we all know, and see, now I have to say Billingtano in an Italian accent. Billingtano, Barry. I picked that up from. I'm trying to, make my stream like Ceiling Fan Man's. It doesn't have the great intro or the jokes or the news stuff or okay, so it's not really like Ceiling Fan Man's show at all. Oh dear, I'm sorry, I have to give him a hard time. So anyway, Karen B said what we all know already is that most of the content creators that you listen to, at least in this crowd, right, has been hit with at least one strike at one point or another, and typically for something spurious and stupid. Right? You remember way back when Crow 777 got strikes for showing the the lunar wave? Like what? Oh dear. These guys are nuts, right? And they plainly, and what I'm talking about, right? And so they plainly reveal, right, what their motives and intentions are by their behavior. We see it clearly. Most of the sheep, I don't want to call them sheep. I don't want to be condescending, but you know what I'm saying. Most of those who have abdicated their will to someone else, that big crowd, the 90%. They don't see it. Right? It's right in front of their face, and they don't see it. So yeah, lunar hate speech. Exactly. Anyway, guys, without belaboring the point, right? So everybody's getting taken down, these stupid channel strikes, all this stupid stuff, and they're just, and they're talking about this great reset and all this nonsense, and so, they get sick of it. And Karen says, "I'm done. Right? I'm not going to put any more investment." And I noticed this whenever we started doing the Rockfin thing, and how quickly, again, my Rockfin. I bet what do I do in there? The Freaky Freaks thing, right? I mean, I'm just kind of moving some stuff around, and there's already like 6,000 plus followers on there, and YouTube says I've got 2,900 forever, right? And they're supposed to be, we're supposed to be a partner with them, and they're going to pay us for the ads, and they monetize us, right? It wouldn't matter if we don't monetize something; they're going to monetize it anyway. They're going to make money on the ads. They don't tell you how many hits you have. They don't tell you how many subscribers you have, especially if you're saying stuff you don't like. So why, right? I mean, okay, and I understand this is because this is where the people are. Okay, I understand, but at this point. Right? I'm not out trying to get new followers, new listeners. It never really was about that. My point was to try to support the people who were already in the community. Always, ever, right? That's all it ever was. And so, I mean, I'll still have a presence on YouTube until they kick me off, because I'll, if nothing else, just satire. But as a matter of solidarity, this is probably one of the last real streams that I want to do here, of any real import and content. I mean, maybe I'll finish out the month. I don't want to do anything, again, just a knee-jerk reaction. But, man, screw those guys. This is just nonsense, man. And moreover, I don't want to be the person that says, "Oh, sorry about your luck," right? I'm going to hang on here tooth and nail and benefit from it. And sorry for everybody. I think we do need to have a show of solidarity here. Just turn our back on them and just give them the moon, right? And say, screw you guys. It's a great reset of our own. I mean, we don't matter to them. We probably don't represent that much in terms of revenue or anything like that. But I don't know. I'm done with them. And I hope that you guys I kind of hope that you feel the same. I hope that everybody gets a sense of, we just, I know people complain about having to pay money for stuff. And again, I try to put stuff up on Rockfin that's free as well, just to support them, right? So you guys can come over, and I'm not trying to take anybody's money. And I try to also do stuff that's premium there. The Freaky Freaks is premium because I'm trying to support them as a platform, because they've helped us by, so far, not censoring us. And they talk to us. We can actually talk to them. I mean, like actual people, which is pretty great. So, again, this is a pitch not to get your subscription to Rockfin, although I would say, again, if you heard any of us, we all have pretty positive things to say. Yes, I know the chat sucks, especially in the app, but they're working on it. And I believe them that they're working on it because they show signs of it, right? And we've told them that the community aspect is really important to us. So would you please work on that? And this is, so I guess what I'm saying is, whether it's that or whether it's, again, Odyssey, I don't mind putting stuff up on Odyssey or whatever. It's library, it's free. But I think that they've been purchased by alphabet agency Google anyway. So, I mean, while they may not be doing censorship now, they will. I'm sure everybody will at some point. But just as a statement, right? Just to say, screw you guys, man. Like, I mean, y'all ever had anybody cheat on you? I have. You know what it feels like? Man, I don't know. I'm not about revenge, but sometimes you just want to say, fuck me. No, fuck you, man. and so that's why this is kind of my new hashtag is screw me. No, screw you tube. Right, screw you guys, man. Anyway, just a fair warning, right? I may put something up from time to time, just to say, hey, here's where we're at. This is what we're doing. But I'm just done with them. They just suck. And then again, it's not just me. Like, they haven't hassled me too much. Yes, some, but really, honestly, it's about the way they treat my friends, and I just fuck that, man. Like, nobody treats my wife bad. Nobody treats my friends bad. I'm not going to just sit around and take it, right? So screw you guys. I'm just done with you pigs, right? So anyway, just to give you guys a heads up or what's up, that again, I'm not going to leave until they kick me out, but I'm definitely not interested in investing them in them anymore. If you don't know what you're missing out on, Rockfin, I'm going to do a little thing here for you. So every morning, really early at 4:20 in the morning on the West Coast. Yes, I chose that on purpose. Every morning, I get up really early, obviously. About that, I'll say about that time, about 4:20, because occasionally things slip. But I get up and I got invested in and really excited by tuning forks, right? So the solar return, the gal from Biofield Tuning was there, and she gave a presentation, and a lot of people were distracted, but I paid enough attention. It was interesting, and so of course I'm all about sound and waves and all the stuff. I mean, it's right up my alley. So when I got back, I started looking into it, and I said, "Yeah, I'll check this out." And so I got a couple of sets of tuning forks, a chakra set and a solfeggio set, and I was hooked, straight up hooked. And it's very difficult in a way to elucidate the effects at the outset, because it's hard to say. You're like, well, it feels funny. It feels funny. It's like, in PE when you're climbing the rope, it feels funny. No, it's not quite. Well, it's a little like that. I don't know. Jenny Spark will tell you what it's like. But you can get physical feelings from it. It's very weird. And so I just said, hey, and one of the things that the material said is it works best if you do it daily. And so I said, well, okay, we'll do that. Now, of course, many of the people that do, cymatic or sound healing, it is a physical thing. And so they're actually physically touching you with this stuff. And yes, that is a different thing. But there's something about just the tones that really change things. And so I'm working on now a couple of presentations. I don't know whether I will do it here or whether I will put that onto Globebusters to make Bob happy. But orientation, it's a big deal. And part of the thing that when I joined the Globebusters team, and it's been a little awkward, I think at first, just because my schedule has been weird, and kind of figuring out Wednesday, Sunday time. It's a whole big weird deal. But so Bob and I, we like looking at the technical stuff. We're big nerds, and he's bigger than I am. I mean, I may be nerdier, but he's bigger. No. The jokes aren't going to get any better. Sorry. Anyway, so Bob and I, we really like nerding out. We're big on that stuff. And so I decided one of the things I did was order up I'm just a nerd, right? So I ordered, let's see, where did I put this? I got Trivium, Quadrivium, Designa. I think I got, I saw that there's also Sciencia and another one. Anyway, I'm going to check those out. I started reviewing Walter Lewin's lectures, MIT lectures, and especially around electromagnetics, his 803 series, waves and that sort of stuff. So I could kind of refresh myself. And and again, I know Bob's background has to do with antennas and microwave and that sort of stuff. And so I want to just kind of hit myself to the tip. And I'm really big on multidisciplinary study and trying to best understand things from a broader perspective, that the more things you better understand, the better chance you have of correlating those things, and that you see these patterns develop. And pattern recognition really is largely how we navigate the world. It's really a big deal. And that's another presentation that I just actually a thought pattern that I had this morning about how we put things together, and that probably goes hand in hand with orientation, because that largely directs our steps, right? What we're interested in will point us in a certain direction. And some of the people that we think are type A personality, very driven, in fact, the reason for that is because they're wildly dissatisfied, usually with themselves. And they're not comfortable. Whereas when you come to a sense of peace, anyway, I digress wildly. Point being, this wave thing, I think, is the nature of the universe. I think that has to do not only with the etheric, but with the material, the immaterial. I think there's so much in there that relates and correlates to what, who, and where we are. And in that, so again, playing with these sound sources is remarkable fun. And so, on Rockfin, Janet, I'm just the Great Baldini on Rockfin. And you can find me there. But I do it every morning. I was going to give you a little demo of that because I've changed. I've done some things and it's progressed a bit as we go along, just from a couple of tuning forks. I've got more on the way. I had singing bowl that arrived last night, and it wasn't up to snuff, and so I'm just sending it back. But I have more tuning forks coming, filling in some gaps. But I was going to give you a little demo of that, I think, this morning for, Cammie's birthday. She likes. But I also put together a stand. So I was looking for a stand, and I said, I can make that. So it's got like 30 places I can put them in there. I also introduced stereo, not quite mid-side. I'll work on that, but kind of a stereo component to this. So if you'll indulge me a moment. Well, first of all, let's just show you this. So the tuning forks, some of them are weighted, some of them are unweighted, and what well, again, I'll let you decide if they do anything for you. I know if Eric Dulian is here, he wants me to count down or let him know it's coming, so it's coming. So don't get too wild on it. But anyway, I'm going to show you a little bit first, and then give you a quick little demo of what that looks like, and hopefully that'll get you excited about coming over for some freaky freaks and getting up early. Of course, you don't have to do it live. You can go over there at any time. But all right, so a variety of these tuning forks. Some are weighted, some are unweighted, in a variety of frequencies, and so that's the basic deal, and I can usually get them going for quite a while, especially the unweighted ones. I can get them going, and oddly, one of the first things I noticed when I started playing with these is that if I focused on it, I could kind of get them to regenerate. That is, put energy back into them and keep them going for quite a long time. And I didn't adjust the volume there or anything, just kind of moved it a little bit closer to the mic capsule. So that's the deal on that. And then what I found is that when I'm putting more than one together, it became very interesting. And then, so I said, well, the thing is, holding them in my hand became it's a challenge to put multiples in your hand in such a way that they're not interacting physically with one another, but you can also kind of keep them properly spaced and introduce them to the microphone. So I said, well, what if I did this? So this will introduce a little bit of noise here as I open these other microphones up, but this now... All right, so introduce the stereo field. So I have a crossing XY axis that I've introduced, as well as a contact condenser on on this. So now what I can do is well, that is actually in the plan, because I thought that would be super great too, is showing the cymatics of these in real time. And so I have plans to put together a tonoscope such that I can do that in real time. The thing is, I'm so covered up, I don't even have room for all these tuning forks right now. It's everywhere across the desk. It's a mess. And so probably I won't do that until we move. But in the interim, I considered trying to find an app or something that at least does a simulation of it. I know it's not the real thing, but it is something I want to do, is put together a tonoscope, a real tonoscope in the future, and a better version of the stand. I mean, it has some issues. You can tell that it vibrates a little bit when I get these. And when I set it in there, you can hear it vibrate a little bit in the in the peg hole, and so it's a little bit distracting to me, especially with the contact mic. But again, so I'll give you a little demo of this. I'm going to close my mic because you can tell there's a little phase cancellation there, and I'm just going to give you a couple of minute demo of this. And then if you're interested in this, then you can come see us on Rockfin. And again, there's tons of those. I do them every day now. They're in a stack, what they call a playlist is a stack. And so you can still hear this one still going. Just ever so slightly. All right. So anyway, yeah, they're in stacks so you can catch up. And again, I don't know what it's like to play it back. I tried a little bit this morning. I thought, well, that's interesting. I wanted to see what the stereo effect was. But I do know that it does tune me up rather in person. We're noticing interesting effects. And I know for me, over the past few weeks, what I have noticed is that later in the day, I find that it has given me just the right mindset that I needed to deal with some certain thing. It's pretty weird. Anyway, I'll shut up now and give you a little demo of some of these tuning forks. It's pretty interesting stuff. And am I forking you over? Oh, I'm going to fork the forking forkers. You bet. Oh, by the way, when I get this effect, I'm literally just spinning it, turning the tuning fork over the mic pickup field, and so it changes the orientation of the wave pattern in correlation to the diaphragm of the microphone, and that's why you get that change in sound. Just because I'm a nerd. All right, here we go. And there you go. Little bonus action for you today. If you'd like to experience that on a daily basis, I will say, again, perhaps it's not for everyone. I see Bill is not a fan, but, you know, what do you expect? He's an unexpected Bill. least he's not a doctor. Nobody likes a doctor bill. Anyway, now, again, jokes aren't going to get any better. But let's see. We have that. Anyway, so that's your tuning fork thing. Yeah, Freaky Freaks do it every morning, very early, every morning on Rock Van Premium. So glad you could join us for that. Let's see. What else do I want to add? There's a couple of other components of thought processes that I had moving forward. I think I'm going to put those on pause just for now, because each of them has an element that will lead into something else, and I'm not sure that I want to bring you to the edge. I don't want to cliffhanger it, such that it makes it like I'm trying to draw you in for some other thing, some other purpose. It's just I think I want to use each of those to lead up to the other things. But I think I'll leave you with this. Michelle, I love you too. You're just so awesome. But I want to leave you with this. As I observe things around us, I notice that, and I think you would probably identify with this perspective, is under the current conditions, as they try to polarize us, and they're doing an effective job of that, one of the perhaps unintended consequences is that as their side, if I want to put it that way, those in the mainstream, those who follow along with that narrative, are more and more rattled. They're more and more upset. They're uncomfortable in their own skin. And they're terrified with what's around them. They have little to no control over what happens around them. And all they can do is follow along and do what they're told. And what they're being told now is, of course, taking on ridiculous. They're playing Simon Says or Fauci Says. Stick your thumb up your butt. Dance 3 times. Turn around, upside down. Do this, do that. And they realize now, I think it just looks silly. And they have no choice but to continue to double down. And so they're getting very uncomfortable. And now they have to have a jab or 2 or more for each update, with all the risks that incurs. And conversely, other than the increasing sense of isolation, which hopefully we're working to mitigate to some degree, if not eliminate the isolation. Other than that, we're having a hell of a time. It's exciting, frankly, in many ways. Often, when I'm laying down to sleep or take a nap, I'll put an earbud in or listen to, often scripture, psalms or, whatever. But more often than not, I will listen to the book of Revelation. And my wife kind of going, wow, why would you want to listen to something like so dark and terrifying? From my perspective, I don't read that book that way. It's exciting. It is not frightful and terrifying. It has a glorious outcome. It has drama, no doubt. But it has a shining ending. So, I am not afraid. And I encourage you as well to be not afraid. But fuck the fucking fuckers, right? I see more and more of us are content. If it were not for these things, like Miriam describes at the beginning of the program, right? Difficulty with health, which may be, external. Certainly mine might be. I can't say maybe hers is as well. I don't know. I'm not trying to be all weird and paranoid. I'm saying they could, right? All of these symptoms that she describes and what I describe, both verified symptoms of ionized radiation poisoning. In other words, it could easily be done by a directed weapon that's within the purview of even local police. So I'm not making any claims whatsoever. I'm not even trying to seed the thought. I'm saying that again, anything's possible, and we just don't know. And a lot of people, other than right, some of these either financial or relational or job related things that are going on, most of us in this community would be happier than pigs in shit right now. And why not? Right? All the things that we said that were going on are right out there in the open. Couldn't be more obvious, right? Verification, vindication of all the things that we've said. But most of the people out there are too caught up in the middle of it and too afraid of it to even acknowledge it. So, who are we going to tell? In any case, what I wanted to get to is this. Be encouraged, right? Be of good cheer. You have nothing to fear. I think it was J-Bro that said, don't be afraid of those who can kill the body and they can't do anything else, right? There's larger things to fear. And what I always say, don't threaten me with a good time. Right? What are you going to do? Like, get me out of this place? Like, end the movie early? Oh, it wasn't that great a movie anyway, right? I was just here fucking off with my friends. When you go to a movie and you're throwing popcorn at the screen, you don't really care about the movie. You're just there for the experience with your friends. That's where I'm at. And so I'm not in a big hurry to get out, but, that's right. Don't throw me in the briar patch. Right. Again, I'm not telling anybody what to do, but I just want to be encouraging and say, be of good cheer, right? We have the things that everybody longs for in their life. I think, by observation, is relationship and acceptance. More important than most of these other things. More important than possessions. Very few people lie on their deathbed and wish to hell that they had more possessions. Right? Their regrets lie in relationships. And it seems to me, by my observation, the only things that we get to take with us are who we are and the relationships that we develop. And that's it. And so, to that end, right, I would say invest wisely. Gummy bears? Yeah, well, I eat the gummy bears. Come on, man. Anyway. So, don't let them push you into a corner, right? They're trying to provoke a reaction, poking you with a stick. Don't give in. Again, I'm not telling you what to do. I'm trying to encourage you, right? Because I hold this thought in my heart, right? Is that again, love wins, love conquers all, and they're trying to drive us away from it and make everyone hate one another and make enemies of everyone. And in saying "fuck the fucking fuckers," right? That's not a hostile statement from me. That is, I ignore you. You have nothing for me, nothing that I want, right? Like, what do you got? I'm not interested in what they have to offer. But I am interested in you guys. So, because you're fucking cool, man. And that you're interested in helping take care of one another just tells me so much. That you guys reached out to me and said, hey, our friend is in need. Can you help? Man, I fucking love that shit. Pretty awesome. Keep it up. One more time, I want to drop, let me put Miriam's channel in the chat. There you go with that. Her PayPal is in the show notes, in the description. Please, a couple bucks, would be really cool. Just to show her you're thinking of her. And if you're unable to do that, pray, send her a nice note. I know she's on Facebook. What if the enemy offered me hair? Oh, hell no, man. Oh, hell no. No, not interested. I don't think they have anything I want, truly. Because all I want is to be with Dad. And then they can't give me that. So I don't really have anything I want. Yeah. All right. Let's see if I can find some tunes to get out of here with. And then I'm going to encourage you to come back tomorrow. Tomorrow morning I'll be back on Rockfin, of course, with the Freaky Freaks, and I'll be back here with a little ancient wisdom, but we'll have a discussion. So if you come to Ancient Wisdom, as I hope you do, tomorrow morning at 7 o'clock on the West Coast, 9 o'clock Central, I'd like to hear from you about what to do, where to do that. Should that continue to be on YouTube's? Should I move it? Should I add it to Freaky Freaks? There's been some suggestion of that, just to tag it on to the end of Freaky Freaks every day and read the chapter for the day. Possibility. I don't want to, again, bring something to people that they're not interested in, right? So just let me know how you feel about that. You can certainly leave comments. You can send me an email. Glad to hear it. Shabbat Shalom to you as well. It's a beautiful day for it. And anyway, I love you guys. Hopefully by this time, I don't even have to say very much. You guys know how I feel. I freaking love you. You're amazing. I got a brain like a pachinko machine. And from time to time, even a blind squirrel gets a nut. So from time to time, I have a neat thought, and you have to dig through hours of material to find it. So bonus for all of us, right? Okay. Anyway, Rockfin only. That's what you think. Well, again, I don't want to leave people out, and again, I really don't want people to think, like I'm trying to leave them out. Although, again, you can get a free Rockfin account. I can do stuff for free on Rockfin, and their audio quality is way better than anybody else, even YouTube. So there's that, and that's really cool for the Freaky Freaks because, and Jason Lindgren and I have talked about doing a music podcast. There's all sorts of stuff, especially as I kind of step out of the my daily job and try to get more into this. And as I said earlier, I'm trying to make better content, not just more. So anyway, love you guys. It is always, again, an amazing time to hang out with you. I love seeing the interaction between you. And let's see, there's fewer of you today because most of you are hanging out with Karen B. I know that because she's cooler than me. All right, I'm going to leave you with a little tune here, More Than I've Ever Seen. Again, this is circa, I think, 1993 or 4, something like that, song I wrote with Joe Ray, along with others. There's been questions about that as well, like will there be music, that sort of stuff. Yeah, as I get a little bit of time together, I do want to put together sort of a retrospective, like we're behind the music or where are they now or something like that. Kind of some of the songs that we wrote. We wrote like over 100 songs back in the day, only recorded a very few, and most of those later. And so, anyway, but some people have asked, and so I'm trying to get with him and at least get some basic idea of some of the songs down on the history of how that happened and why it is what it is now. Just do bumpers on YouTube for the ringing streams. Yeah, I could do that. I'd usually, people now, they know it's there, but yeah, I could do that. And another way to weaken, I don't know. I don't know. I mean, again, my typical, like, for example, a bunch of people squealed about getting off YouTube's, right? I'm sorry, Facebook, right? And then, so there's going to be this mass exodus from Facebook. And again, I understand that we don't want to give them their data, that sort of stuff. And then there's the other side, right? It's that it could be, opportunity to reach people from time to time, or at least you get to connect with your friends, that sort of stuff. And so there's the mindset of like, screw you, I'll leave. And then there's the other side of that, probably the other end of the continuum, is like, I won't go until you kick me out. I'm just going to be a thorn in your side. I'm not sure which aspect to take. I understand both of them, and I have sentiments toward both. But I do feel that there's a big part of me that feels like, especially with Karen and Brian and others who are getting so attacked, right? That just sort of in a move of solidarity. Since their choice is to go, then part of me feels like in solidarity, right? I just don't want to put out the majority of the content on this platform. I do think that perhaps using it to infiltrate and to gather folks to go elsewhere is good. But again, my motivations are different than others. For example, like with Globebusters and Jeranism and Crow and that sort of stuff, part of their motivation is to seek a broader audience, right? To give to bring this information to more people. And I applaud that. That is not really my motives or my purpose. My purpose is to support those who have already gone down the rabbit hole. I'm in the bottom of the rabbit hole, right? Handing out cookies. I'm brewing coffee for people who are down there and they're tired. Right, and say, hey, keep going. That's where I'm at, right? So it actually serves my purposes to not have more people. frankly. So, and that's where the community comes in and why I think Rockfin is probably a good fit. But I also understand that what Rockfin requires as kind of a prerequisite to join is that you have the bank account and all the stuff that brings you into the matrix in order to make it happen, right? So there is that trade-off. All these things have trade-offs, and I'm not sure how to approach them. My desire is to encourage and help as many people as possible, and I'm willing to entertain just about anything, but I won't compromise my ethics. I won't do anything that makes me feel uncomfortable to accomplish that. So, with that having been said, again, I do really love you guys. I'm so delighted and so pleased to have you here weekly, especially the same faces. It's so great to see you. And I will say again, fuck the fucking fuckers. And if you can, again, give a little nudge to Miriam. Let her know that you love her. She's salt of the earth people, right? Just really cool, down to earth people. And one of the reasons I love you guys so much is the way that you care for one another. And it truly warms my heart. The cockles of this old man's heart. Arr. Jagger and dazzle. All right, guys. Love you a bunch. Support your friends. Consider these things. Reach out. Send an email. I'm again willing to entertain what you have to offer. I want to be a part of this community. I don't feel like I should necessarily set the tone. Just resonate with it, I suppose. And so here's a little bit of a chance to be a lightning rod and just sort of see, strike that tuning fork and see what resonates, I suppose. To mix a metaphor. Exactly, Francis. Our big nudge would be good too. Hope you guys, again, have a delightful weekend. Can't wait to see you around. I'm sure we'll see you in the funny papers and around the schoolyard. In the interim, be good to each other. Be good to yourself. Just be. Love you guys. Take care.
Darkness on every